So, back to my story. Back to the meeting with Ramesvar on that day, just barely a week after Srila Prabhupada left this world. Even though Ramesvar was trying to convince me that what he and the other GBC men had done was the right thing, I just wasn't buying what he was trying to sell me. So before the meeting ended, Ramesvar actually tried to convince me that what he did wasn't really lying to us when he told us that Srila Prabhupada didn't want us to go to be with him. Pay attention, because this is a really good one. I know that this has been 43 years in the past, but this incident was so traumatic for me, as I will shortly explain, that I can recall it as if it just took place last week. I will paraphrase from memory, the best I can recall, what Ramesvar told me. The devotees who distribute Srila Prabhupada's books are without doubt the most advanced devotees in ISKCON and are very dear to Lord Chaitanya. As you know, for many years, I have been managing the BBT and overseeing the mass distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books all over the world. Practically speaking, I must say with all humility that no one else is directly responsible for the distribution of so many of Srila Prabhupada's books than myself. Because of this, Lord Chaitanya bestowed his special mercy on me by revealing to me Srila Prabhupada's higher inner desire. Okay, so what was Ramesvar trying to sell me on now? Ramesvar continued, Ame Atma, I am going to share with you what Lord Chaitanya revealed to me. I am going to share with you Srila Prabhupada's higher inner desire, which was that he didn't want for the ISKCON temple properties to be lost to the banks. Oh, wow. Really? I would never have had a clue that this was actually Srila Prabhupada's inner desire. I mean, really, if it wasn't for Lord Chaitanya had revealed this to such a super heroic, hyper advanced GBC, the topmost Sankirtan devotee, what this most secret and intimate knowledge of Srila Prabhupada's higher and inner desire were, I mean, who would have known? I would have had no clue that Srila Prabhupada wouldn't have wanted his ISKCON temples to be lost. I mean, who would have thought? Okay, yes, that's being a little overly melodramatic, or at least it was intended to be. It didn't come out that way. Anyway, I just wanted to make the point that I was not at all buying what Ramesvar was trying to sell me on that day. And I'm not making it up. This is what he sat there and was trying to sell me that day. This is what he was wanting me to accept and believe, because he really believed this himself. This was his mind's rationalization as to why he really wasn't lying to us, when in reality, he was really lying to us. Oh, sheesh. He continued to explain that when Srila Prabhupada made his request that all his disciples come to India to be by his side, because Lord Chaitanya had revealed to Ramesvar that Prabhupada's higher inner desire was that the temples not be lost. Ramesvar explained that when he came back to America and told us that Srila Prabhupada didn't want us to go, that Prabhupada only wanted us that we stay and do our service, that he was not actually lying to us. No. How is that? Because Srila Prabhupada's higher inner desire was that the temples not become lost to the banks. Because Ramesvar was so advanced that Lord Chaitanya had now revealed to him what Prabhupada's true inner and higher desire was, then we can understand that Srila Prabhupada didn't really want us to go. He really didn't want us to come and be with him, even though that's what he said. What twisted rationalization, what warped sense of logic. What that would mean is that when Srila Prabhupada expressed his desire verbally, outwardly, we're only to take that verbal request as his much lower and insignificant desire, and then to really have, the only way that we can really know what Srila Prabhupada really wanted is we have to go and beg Ramesvar to tell us, because he is the only one who's so advanced that Lord Chaitanya will reveal this only to him, which would mean that Lord Chaitanya wouldn't even reveal this to Prabhupada himself. Then that would mean that Prabhupada wasn't as highly advanced as Ramesvar. I mean, Ramesvar sat across from his small desk that day and actually gave that reasoning and logic. This is the mindset of a mad mind. Listening to his own mad mind, Ramesvar had convinced himself that even though he had just taken extensive actions to prevent Srila Prabhupada's request from being fulfilled and had just lied to all of us in order to do so, in his mind had convinced him that what he had done was not at all wrong. His mind had convinced him that what he did was the most highest and most righteous and noble thing. Well, his mind had him convinced he was right. My mind totally rejected everything he was trying to sell me that day. Everything he was saying was just totally wrong. Philosophically, spiritually, it was all wrong. What they had done and their justification for it, everything about this was just totally and completely wrong. And it wasn't just Ramesvar's mindset alone. His mind had not only convinced Ramesvar, but Ramesvar went and convinced the minds of Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Satsvarup, and many other leading GBC men at that time. By understanding this incident, understanding how very off their line of thinking was, how much they were in total Maya at the time, how their minds were in such illusion, it forces all of us to really question the other major decisions these very same men had made at the very same period in time. These were the very same men who used their very same illusioned minds to decide what path Srila Prabhupada really wanted us to take regarding the Rtvik Guru issue. It is for these reasons that we really must understand the details regarding this incident.